He was able to assist her.
The Columbia Police Department calling Cray Turmon a hero Wednesday, honoring the man for his effort to preserve public safety when he helped an officer make an arrest.
Glad you're okay.
I'm glad I can go.
Hey folks, welcome to another night of Chief Arthur Review. You do not want to miss this one, okay? This is incredible. This is about a homeless man that saves a female police officer's life. And I'll show you it. You may have seen it many years ago, but it's applicable today, and I will tell you why it's applicable. You saw that video I did yesterday with the officers confronting a homeless person at McDonald's. Well, I want to talk about this one. Watch this thing for a while. This is incredible. And then
What you say, okay, that's enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Turmon watched Officer Ashley Hardesty's arrest quickly turn into a wrestling match outside a Columbia gas station on Tuesday.
I saw some of her belongings hit the ground.
All Turmon knew was he didn't want to see the situation escalate.
I had tunnel vision.
He says something told him to stick around.
She done did everything she could. It was going to get ugly, you know. I mean, something had to be done.
Hardesty used her taser and mace on a man accused of punching a store clerk and pulling out a knife. The man wouldn't back down.
There's something inside of me that I done seen before, and I'm just tired of.
Okay, I have to stop it there, okay? This is not just about kind of a feel-good moment where, you know, police and homeless person get along and have some newfound respect for each other, probably. But as you watch this one, he's going to give you other clues about, you know, and so forth. But I want to talk tactics on this really quickly, okay? First of all, the homeless man, Cray, okay, he wouldn't have had to save this officer's butt if she had taken the proper steps. And that's what I'm going to build to as I start talking, you know, about police tactics and what we're supposed to do and why and how we do it. And when things are not done the right way, you're going to end up like this, okay? So here's the deal. I guarantee you she got called to this gas station for the assault or whatever. I would imagine that's absolutely true, okay? I don't think she just drove up on it and stuff, but let's just say she did. Either way, I don't understand why she's by herself, okay? This is Columbia, South Carolina. Don't know the size of the department, but most all departments anymore, okay, that have another officer on, and there's two of them, they would go to this call together. Does that make sense? Okay. For instance, I worked in Kansas City, Missouri, inner city, number of years, big department, very, you know, a lot of crime, a lot of things going on. We would not go to an assault call or something like that with one officer. It would be two officers on most anything. When I was a chief in a suburb, and this is many years ago back here, about 8 years ago, but I want to talk about why it's applicable today, okay? And so when I was the chief in a suburb of Tulsa, with all the officers getting hurt during those years and targeted and so forth, we made it to where most every call, it was a two-person response, okay? Because they're not going to tell you when they're going to ambush you. So if you send one officer, you're going to run into a bad day. This is a bad day with this, okay? So keep watching, and I'm going to say, first of all, she should have had another officer. Don't approach a person like this. I don't care who it is, okay? They've already given you a propensity to hurt somebody in the place. Why wouldn't they do it to you? And then we'll talk her tactics, what she's doing now and stuff. And it's crazy.
The violence. The next step will probably be fatal. So I think I'm trying to save his life also.
That's when Turmon stepped in, allowing Hardesty to handcuff the suspect. He was quickly praised for his efforts.
Nice tackle.
She was able to get him handcuffed, and he's in jail now.
I'm an ex-criminal, you know, and it just felt good to actually have the law pat me on my back.
There's even more to Cray.
Stop that really quick, okay? Did you hear what he said a few minutes ago here? He said, okay, so you can tell he's had interactions with police, and they haven't always been positive, okay? So he says in the beginning, back there a ways, he said, you know, she wasn't doing too well in this deal, and he did not want it to get to lethal force and someone end up seriously injured or dead. And so he's doing it for both of them, okay? Not siding. He just wants to get the thing done. So he runs over there. How many, you guys tell me this, how many of you would have intervened to help that officer? Seriously, I'd love to hear it in the comments. How many of you have ever seen an officer get help or asked for an officer asked to get help and so forth? How many? Okay, this is 8 or 9 years ago. Okay, A lot different back then, I would argue, than the police culture has been in the last few years, okay, and the climate's been. But he says also, he said it was kind of nice to finally get a pat on the back from police officers, instead of how he's been treated any other time, right? So we'll watch some more, and then I want to tell you briefly before I let you go about some tactics, like I said, and then I'll tell you a quick little deal of my situations and how this has helped. But God bless him and praise him. Like, if he was her angel that day, because who else is going to step in? And she was in a bad way. If they get to going too much there, and he takes her gun and does whatever, it's all over, all over.
Turmon's story. Right now, he's homeless and living at the transition shelter in Colombia. He hopes his story can make a difference.
Wow, this happened. This guy he's in a homeless shelter, and he did something like this. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall.
I stood for something yesterday.
Are you glad you did?
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
That was good form, too. Your head was up.
The man arrested Tuesday was Donald Brown. His criminal record dates all the way.
Okay, guys, that's the end of it right there, okay? Just wanted to show you that. I was looking at some deals tonight over, I don't want to give all bad videos out here, because that's why I said I'm not that guy. If there are good ones out there and I come across them, I'm going to play them all the time. I think this is a good one. I think she really appreciated his help. And I think it's changed probably her and maybe other members of that department, their whole attitudes about that, because you don't know who's going to come down and be your angel that way, or you're going to need it. I'll tell you, when I was in Kansas City, Missouri, we were taught in the academy that you give the respect. Okay, your mouth's your biggest weapon. You give the respect and so forth, because at some point down the road, I may need a citizen to jump in and help me. It happened all the time at that department. And I went to do an off-duty job, not even on duty. I'm working security outside of like a convenience store, not a good area of town, so forth. But I'm by myself, okay? And I also don't have a radio on. You just call dispatch on the phone, because there's not enough radios for all the department off duty. So you'd call them and tell you, hey, I'm going to be out at the station in case I need help. Well, guess what? Starts to get that time of the night where people are going to want alcohol. They're running out, whatever. Guy comes in, walks to the cooler, grabs a case, and he starts running out the door. And what do I need to do? I'm getting paid, right? I got to stop him. So I stop him, and usually, command presence, hey, you need to take that back in, whatever. He was drunk. He wasn't going to abide by any of that stuff at all. Next thing you know, I'm, placing him under arrest. We could have fixed it. We could have gone in there and given it back, and they would have been okay with that. But now he wants to, I go to put him in handcuffs. He's going to fight. So we are fighting, and I am, you can get tired of doing that for a while, okay? And he's drunk, and when people don't want to be handcuffed, it's a tough way to do it. And so as I'm doing this, and it seems forever, and I'm thankful that I wrestled all the way to high school and college, whatever, so I'm pretty good on that part of hanging out and stuff. But if they get you in a weird position, your gun could be gone or anything. So what happened next, as I'm going through this, I can't call the police or whatever. Who am I going to get to help me put this guy in handcuffs? Because I can't get it done right now. You know what it ends up doing then? Because I had pepper spray and I had a baton. We didn't have the tasers yet and so forth. So at that moment, I'm not being able to get separated from him to get the baton. And then the other part is that the pepper spray and stuff, I couldn't either get to it, or there's something with that. And a lot of times that doesn't even work. So as I'm doing that, God bless the angel that came outside. A guy was walking out and he said, hey, you want me to help you? And I said, yes, please. And so he helped me. We got him handcuffed. And I said, I so appreciate you and stuff. And I always remember that from the academy, because they said there were officers in the inner city and they got help from the least person they'd ever expect it from. Maybe somebody that sold drugs or whatever. But if you treated them with respect, they will treat you with respect. And that's why I try to teach cops. Treat them the way you want to be treated. It's all about respect. And if you're going to use your mouth for evil, somebody's going to catch you on it, and they're going to shut that for you. Okay? And that's why a lot of times when officers are treating badly, that a good officer down the road is going to get hurt because of it. And that's where I'm building with this, okay? So by tomorrow, whatever, I'm going to show you ones where cops have gotten hurt, some things that I'm going to talk about the tactics on it and so forth. But having said all this stuff, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And kudos to Cray. I don't know what happened to him, but they raised $10,000, as you heard, and got him in his own apartment. He got a job and so forth. So I hope he's absolutely doing well. And I hope the officer is as well. And we will talk to you soon. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.